Good day, everyone. Welcome to Real Conservative News. I'm your host, Nathaniel Rajkumar. Starting off locally here in Trinidad and Tobago, Public Utilities Minister Barry Padarath says the government may again approach the opposition and independent senators for support for the long-debated Zones of Special Operations ZOSO legislation, and he's offering his own constituency as one of the first areas to be designated. It doesn't matter. You could offer anywhere. You could offer Mayaro. You could offer wherever, Princestown. It wouldn't matter. Barry Padarath. My response, even though, of course, UNCs will not agree with me, neither the opposition nor the independent senators should support the ZOSO bill unless people, because I do agree with it in theory, unless there's significant reformation in the TTPS, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. Body cams must be mandated to be worn by all officers while on duty, and officers should be held accountable for violating any laws in Trinidad and Tobago, including illegal parking, which they commit very often here in Sangre Grande, speeding, and most of all, extrajudicial killings. And also, I will add, if they refuse to turn on their body cams while encountering a citizen, especially in a case where there's an actual shooting or a killing, they should be charged for committing that offense, for refusing to follow proper protocol, people. Right? So listen again. If it is, the Commissioner of Police either changes his ways and starts to actually take action to genuinely reform the TTPS, or he resigns, and definitely Prime Minister Kamala Persad replaces Roger Alexander, who is not suitable for that position as Minister of Homeland Security. You see, once those changes are done and the TTPS is actually reformed, then and only then can we say, well, yes, we support this ZOSO bill. Until then, it's still no. Don't go anywhere yet. There's a whole lot more local, regional, and international news to discuss. 3 road traffic accidents between Sunday and Monday have claimed the lives of 3 men. The number of road traffic deaths for the year is 9. The comparative figure for the same period last year was 13. That is a little difference that Zakur is boasting about. And well, of course, he was boasting before this extra 3, though. My response, politicians are always quick to boast about success prematurely. PNM used to do it all the time, too. Pastor Praying Mantis earlier used to do it all the time as well. I wonder what Zakur has to say about these accidents. Is he silent still, or is he boasting still? Or has he gone silent? Did his traffic fines, which target the poor with their imperfect vehicles, prevent these experts from crashing? The answer is no, of course. I wonder what my UNC conservative friends have to say about these tragedies as well. Did these accidents occur because the drivers didn't have insurance? You want a real solution, Trinidad and Tobago and Prime Minister Kamala Persad? You want a real solution to reduce these major accidents from occurring? Mandate that all state-owned and private vehicles install speed governors or speed limiters, which will ensure that need for speed experts, including police officers, some of the most reckless drivers here in Trinidad and Tobago, we know belong to the TTPS, are no longer capable of flying recklessly on our nation's roads. In the meantime, speeding and DUIs should result in 5 years imprisonment if the driver is a repeat offender. Nevertheless, even with those types of harsh penalties, Trinis will continue to drive recklessly, and that's why speed limiters is the best solution. Stay tuned for regional news up next. Prime Minister and Minister of Finance Dr. Godwin Friday says the proposed reduction of value-added tax to 13% remains under consideration as his administration assesses the best timing and approach for implementation. We're talking about St. Vincent and the Grenadines, of course. Speaking during his wrap-up of the 2026 budget debate in Parliament on Friday, Dr. Friday responded to opposition leader Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, who argued that the budget contained no meaningful tax relief for the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Of course, he will say that. I believe thus far, the new Prime Minister and his administration is doing quite well.
The leader of the opposition also went on to say that he don't see no tax relief in the budget. You know? He said that they were going to do it. They had a plan to raise the threshold for income tax and to lower other taxes and so on by 1 or 2% here and there. Well, we're doing things differently. In our budget, first of all, we said the tax-free, VAT-free shopping day is tax relief. We have 2 days that we will do in this year, 2026. But also, Madam Speaker, we have said that we will reduce the VAT to 13%. That is in this budget. You know, that relief is there. We have done, are starting to do, our assessment as to what is required to make this work. And it will be done.
Jamaica's Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness has expressed sadness at the passing of American civil rights icon Jesse Jackson. I grew up hearing that name and knowing about him. Who died Tuesday surrounded by family, according to a statement posted online by his family. He was 84 years old, reasonable age. I mean, people live longer than that nowadays. Holness described Jackson as one of the most consequential civil rights leaders of the 20th and 21st century. Of course, it really is a sad, it's sad that he passed away. Condolences to the family. Guyana's healthcare and pharmaceutical sectors are poised for further expansion as a Kuwaiti investment company has signaled strong interest. Countries from all around the world, want to invest in Guyana now. So, investment company has signaled strong interest in entering the local market, reflecting growing international confidence in the country's non-oil economic potential. You know why? Because they're using the oil monies to diversify the economy. And that, of course, is what Kamala Persad-Bissessor will also do here in Trinidad and Tobago. I'm confident about that, though, even though I have issues with some of the things that they're doing. Representatives of Kuwait-based Royal Group on Monday met with Chief Investment Officer and head of the Guyana Office for Investment, Peter Ramsurup, MP, to explore opportunities for investment in healthcare and pharmaceutical development. The government of Grenada, I haven't reported anything from the Grenada for a while now, but that's because I'm not seeing any news online pertaining to Grenada. Someone needs to send me a proper news page that will highlight issues coming out from Grenada. The government of Grenada has officially signed a strategic 3-year collective bargaining agreement with associations representing the nation's security services, securing salary increases and enhanced benefits for officers through 2028. Under the terms of settlement, officers will receive a 4% annual increase in 2026, 2027, and 2028, following a previous 3-year cycle that delivered cumulative increases of 13%, 4%, 4%, and 5%, unlike PNM, who just gave people 4% completely in total. Eligible officers will also continue to receive their standard annual increments each January. International news now. U.S. Vice President Vance on upcoming midterms battle, which will be later this year in November. He said, I think the question we are going to put to the American people is, do you want to give the government back to the people who frankly burned down the house and made most Americans much less wealthy and much less safe? Or do you want to double down on the president's leadership, which has helped us recover from some of the problems caused by Joe Biden? Rest assured, if the Democrats end up reclaiming the House of Representatives, we know, of course, it will be impeachment after impeachment until 2028. Let's just hope that they don't end up getting control of the Senate as well. I hope they don't get control of either houses, though.
The question we're going to put to the American people is, do you want to give the government back over to the people who frankly burned down the house and made most Americans much less wealthy and much less safe? Or do you want to double down on the president's leadership, which has helped us recover from some of the problems caused by Joe Biden, and then has built a lot on top of it? Because so much of what we've done over the last year are things that are going to pay long-term dividends for the American people. $18 trillion of new investment. That's factories being built. That's wages going up. A 20% reduction in murder rate. We've obviously secured the border, and we've got a lot of criminals out of this country in the process. So there's a lot to run on. There's a lot to talk about. But, Martha, there's still so much to do. And I think it's up to us. It's up to me. It's up to the president. It's up to the entire team to make the argument to the American people that we've made your life better. And if you give us another couple of years of Republican governance, we can keep on building upon that record.
Closing off now with an interesting facts segment. A sunfish at the Kaikyo-kan Aquarium in Shimonoseki, Japan, reportedly became unwell after the aquarium closed for renovations. Staff said it lost its appetite and showed unusual behavior soon after the closure. So people thought, well, probably it got sick or something. After other explanations were considered, keepers tried a simple test. They placed human-shaped cut out photos of faces and hung staff uniforms outside the tank to recreate the presence of visitors. The approach worked quickly. The fish ate the next morning, next day again, and began recovering. The story spread widely in the news and online, highlighting how changes in routine and environment can affect animals in captivity. It also shows that they don't just act on instinct as we believe. I do believe that God gave them souls. They don't have spirits like human beings, but they definitely have souls and they serve their purpose. The Bible does speak about that, that he cares about the sparrow as well, which is an animal. It's God's creation at the end of the day. Folks, that brings us to the end of today's news report. Thanks again to everyone who continues to support my content. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Stay blessed and stay safe most of all. In Jesus' name.